King's Indian defense, Fianchetto, Larsen defense. Sharp a back and forth game where both players had chances. That game was pretty competitive. The opening was balanced. White was a cut above black in the middle game. Opening with the queen's pawn controls the center and usually leads to a more positional development of the pieces. The Indian game begins by controlling the important e4 square with the knight, rather than a pawn. c4 builds a strong center by controlling the important d5 square and creates a square for the knight to come to c3 without blocking the c-pawn. The King's Indian defense prepares to develop the bishop to g7, allowing white to build up a strong center which black will later try to undermine. Nf3 supports the d4 pawn and controls the e5 square. Bg7 puts the bishop on the long diagonal in a move called a fianchetto. G3 prepares to fianchetto the light squared bishop to g2, where it will control the center from the long diagonal. Castling gets the king to a safer square, out of the center of the board, while also developing a rook. Castling kingside tends to be safer because the king is further from the center. This fianchettos the bishop by placing it on a powerful diagonal. The bishop is ready to be developed to an active square. This activates a knight by developing it off of its starting square. Castling gets the king to a safer square, out of the center of the board, while also developing a rook. Castling to the same side of the board as the opponent avoids some of the attacking associated with opposite side castling. This develops a bishop off its starting square, getting it into the action. This threatens to kick a bishop. Master Games. It is the last book move. This blocks the attack on a pawn that could have been captured. It is best. This maintains the balance in material with a good trade. It is good. Recaptures. It is best. This move puts the bishop on a safer square. It is best. That's not a mistake, but it's not the best move either. It is good. This activates a knight by developing it off of its starting square. It is good. The game is still close to equal, but white lost their advantage. It is an inaccuracy. This threatens to take an open file with the rook. It is a mistake. White had an advantage, but now the game is close to equal. It is an inaccuracy. The rook is now on an open file, which helps control squares across the board. It is excellent. A very strong play. It is excellent. This is a fair move. It is good. The game is still close to equal, but white lost their advantage. It is an inaccuracy. That's fine. It is good. This is not the best. It is an inaccuracy. Very precise. It is best. That's a sensible reply. It is excellent. This defends a pawn that was under attack and had no defenders. It is excellent. After all captures, this is an equal trade. It is excellent. Takes back. It is best. This ignores a better way to move a queen to safety. It is a mistake. One of the best moves. It is excellent. This is an equal trade. It is best. Recaptures. It is best. This offers an equal trade of pieces. It is good. Capturing that pawn wins material. It is good. Takes back. It is best. Recaptures. It is best. This allows the opponent to win a tempo by threatening a rook. It is an inaccuracy. This wins time by threatening a rook and forcing it to move away. It is best. This activates a rook by getting it to the 7th rank and also restricts the opponent's king. It is best. Takes back. It is best. Recaptures. It is best. This moves the bishop to a better location, allowing it to control more squares. It is best. This overlooks an opportunity to defend a pawn that was under attack. It is a mistake. The game is still close to even, but black lost their winning advantage. It is a miss. This wins time by threatening a bishop and forcing it to move away. It is good. This defends the attacked bishop. This is the only move that works. It is a great move. This threatens to add pressure on a pinned bishop. There was only one good move in that position. It is a mistake. This maintains the balance in material with a good trade. This took advantage of a mistake and black now has a winning advantage. This prevents the opponent from being able to add pressure on a pinned bishop. It is best. This threatens to win a rook. It is best. This overlooks an opportunity to offer an equal trade of pieces. It is an inaccuracy. Black was better off, but now their position is winning. It is an inaccuracy. This defends a pawn that was under attack and had no defenders. It is good. That's what I would have recommended. It is best. This blocks an attack on a vulnerable pawn. This is the only move that works. It is a great move. This moves the bishop to safety. It is good. This threatens to kick a bishop. It is an inaccuracy. This is the strongest option. It is best. This steps away from the checking rook. It is excellent. This misses an opportunity to increase a bishop's scope by moving it to a better square. It is an inaccuracy. This evades the check from the rook. It is good. This move puts the rook on a safer square. It is good. This attacks a rook, winning a tempo when it moves away. It is good. This moves the rook to safety. It is good. This misses an opportunity to kick a bishop. It is an inaccuracy. There were worse moves, but also something much better. It is an inaccuracy. Right on target. It is best. This steps away from the checking rook. It is best. This wins a tempo by threatening a rook and forcing it to move away. It is good. This move puts the rook on a safer square. It is best. Very precise. It is best. This wins a tempo by threatening a bishop and forcing it to move away. It is best. This wins time by threatening a rook and forcing it to move away. It is best. This move puts the rook on a safer square. It is excellent. Black still has an advantage, but they no longer have a winning position. It is an inaccuracy. That's what I would have recommended. It is best. A solid choice. It is excellent. This offers an equal trade of pieces. It is best. This ignores an opportunity to offer an equal trade of pieces. It is a mistake. This overlooks an opportunity to threaten winning a pawn. This permits the opponent to win a tempo by threatening a rook. It is an inaccuracy. This attacks a rook, winning a tempo when it moves away. It is best. This wins time by threatening a bishop and forcing it to move away. It is good. This move puts the bishop on a safer square. This is the only good move. It is a great move. This wins a tempo by threatening a bishop and forcing it to move away. It is excellent. This overlooks an opportunity to defend a bishop that was under attack. This permits the opponent to win a tempo by threatening a bishop. It is a mistake. This attacks a bishop, winning a tempo when it moves away. This is the only move that works. This threatens to win a bishop. It is a great move. Sharp a back and forth game where both players had chances. That game was pretty competitive. The opening was balanced. White was a cut above black in the middle game. This moves the bishop to safety. It is best. Sharp a back and forth game where both players had chances. That game was pretty competitive. The opening was balanced. White was a cut above black in the middle game.